Power, silence, patience. You watch, you wait, you breathe through the chaos around you, and yet no one notices. The world assumes that the quiet are weak, that the unseen are lost. They are blind, and that blindness is your weapon. They chatter, they compete, they fight for scraps, while you simply exist, calm, unwavering, and untouchable. The moment is not theirs, it is yours, because you understand something no one else dares to realize. Victory does not roar, it whispers. And sometimes, it does not even knock before it enters. If you are hearing this right now, pause, just for a second, and think about the times you stayed quiet, the times you held back, the times you waited while everyone else moved. Feel that power, that quiet storm brewing inside you. It's not about being seen, it's about being untouchable. It's about understanding the game they all think they're winning. And if this message reaches you, if you feel it in your bones, then I want you to do something. Hit that like button if you've ever felt overlooked. Subscribe if you're tired of being underestimated, and drop a comment sharing the moment when silence became your strongest move, because there are others out there who need to know they're not alone, and need to know they can claim their triumph without shouting, without fighting, without proving anything to anyone. Think about it. The world is full of noise. People screaming, struggling, desperate for attention, desperate for acknowledgement. And yet, here you are, calm, observing, calculating, moving only when the time is absolutely right. They never saw you coming because you never gave them a reason to. You played silent, and they just handed you victory. They didn't realize you were already ahead, that your patience was not a weakness, but a strategy. Every laugh they shared, every word they wasted, every misstep they made, they were paving the path for you without even knowing it. You didn't need to fight. You didn't need to prove yourself. You simply allowed them to play their part, and then, at the moment that mattered, victory was already yours. There's a lesson here, one most people will never understand. Strength is not loud. Power does not demand attention. Success is not about the rush, the chaos, the struggle that everyone else glorifies. Sometimes it's about restraint. Sometimes it's about understanding the rhythm of life, the way moments flow, the way the world unconsciously sets the stage for those who wait with precision and purpose. And you, my friend, have understood this. You have learned it through every silent hour, every unnoticed step, every moment when the world thought you were weak. But weakness is for those who don't understand the value of strategy, patience, and timing. You understood before anyone else, and because of that, they handed you victory without a fight. Victory doesn't always come with celebration. Sometimes it comes quietly, like a shadow crossing a room, unnoticed but undeniable. Sometimes it's the subtle nod of fate that you alone recognize. And the beauty of it is, you didn't have to force it. You didn't have to demand it. You simply existed. And in existing, you outmaneuvered every expectation. The ones who laughed at you, the ones who doubted you, the ones who dismissed your quiet presence, they were blind to the truth. And now, as the outcome falls in your favor, you see it. You always knew it would end this way. You always knew where it ends. That's not luck. That's vision. That's patience. That's the quiet mastery of your own destiny. Ask yourself, how many times have you let the noise around you dictate your pace? How often have you rushed to compete when your strength lay in observing? The answer is clear. You are different. You play the game on your terms. You wait while others exhaust themselves, while others fall into traps they cannot see. You hold your power close, and when the time comes, it manifests in a way so absolute, so undeniable, that everyone else is left wondering how you did it. They never even knew they were part of your plan. That is the true essence of silent mastery. That is how you always know where it ends. There is a darkness to this power, but not a cruel one. It is not born of hatred or malice. It is born of clarity, born of understanding that the world rewards the patient, the observant, the wise. To play silent is to be fearless in your invisibility. To act when no one expects it is to harness a strength that is unshakable. And in that moment, when the world realizes it has been outplayed, there is no fear, no struggle, only the quiet satisfaction of knowing you held the advantage all along. Let them underestimate you. Let them laugh, let them ignore, let them believe they are winning, because every miscalculation they make, every underestimation, every careless move, they are feeding your success. Every noise they create, every desperate effort to prove themselves, they are building the stage for your victory. And when it comes, it will not be announced with fanfare. It will be a whisper, a shadow, a certainty. You played silent, and they handed you everything without even realizing it. And that, my friend, is the power that the loud can never comprehend. They never saw it coming. Every move you made in silence, every pause, every moment of restraint, they took for weakness. They assumed because you didn't yell, because you didn't fight, because you didn't prove yourself, that you were powerless. But the truth is, power is not always loud. Power often grows in the shadows, in the quiet, where no one is looking. And this is the secret the world refuses to teach you. Patience is a weapon. Silence is a strategy, and the unnoticed are often the most unstoppable. Think about it. The people around you, rushing, shouting, desperate for attention, scrambling to be seen, scrambling to matter. They are exhausting themselves. They are running on a treadmill they can never escape. And yet, here you are, standing still, calm, collecting strength, watching, learning, knowing that the moment of reckoning will come, not because you chased it, but because you allowed it to arrive. Victory is not a battle you fight. It is a stage you step onto when the timing is perfect, when every element aligns, when every chance has been handed to you without you ever demanding it. And that is exactly what happens when you play silent. They give you the prize, and you don't even have to reach for it. Have you ever felt the thrill of realizing everyone else underestimated you? It's electric. It pulses through your veins. It whispers in your ear, reminding you that the world is blind to what it cannot understand. And you, in your quiet, unstoppable way, have learned to live there, in that space where the overlooked grow stronger. You have learned to move without needing validation, to act without seeking applause, to exist without fear of judgment. That is the kind of strength that lasts, the kind that cannot be taken, cannot be challenged, cannot be questioned. It is silent, unyielding, absolute. And here is the truth many will never admit. The quiet ones always know where it ends. They see the threads others miss. They understand the patterns that escape the loud. They feel the pulse of inevitability. And so you stand, not with arrogance, but with certainty. You do not worry about the noise, the chaos, the desperation of others. You know that all that chaos is part of the story, and that the story is already written in your favor. Every laugh they shared at your expense, every doubt they cast on your abilities, every sneer of disbelief, they were building your victory, unknowingly, unintentionally, beautifully. The beauty of this power is that it is subtle, almost invisible. People around you, caught in their own struggles, fail to recognize it. They fail to understand that restraint is stronger than aggression, that timing is stronger than force, that observation is stronger than action when action is poorly timed. And in their blindness, they give you the ultimate advantage. They hand you victory while thinking they are winning. They celebrate, they cheer, they shout, while you stand quietly in the shadow, collecting everything they could not see was yours to begin with. It is not luck. It is mastery. It is awareness. It is the kind of intelligence that cannot be taught in schools, cannot be found in books, cannot be understood by those who only see the world in noise and haste. You are a strategist of life, a quiet force, a storm that never announces itself until it has already arrived. And when that storm strikes, when the moment comes, it is absolute. No one can question it. No one can undo it. You did not need permission. You did not need recognition. You only needed patience, and that you have mastered better than anyone else. So pause for a moment and think about your own life. Think about the situations where you held back, where you stayed quiet, where you waited while others rushed. Those were not wasted moments. Those were the hours in which your strength was growing, where your strategy was forming, where the stage for your eventual triumph was being set. And now, when you claim what is rightfully yours, when victory finds you in its own time, it is sweeter than any noise could have made it. It is proof that patience, silence, and strategic thought are more powerful than desperation, speed, or loudness ever could be. And as you step into that victory, remember this: the world will never understand how you did it. They will never see the hours you spent waiting, the moments you endured without recognition, the choices you made in quiet that ensured your success. They will only see the outcome, and they will wonder how it happened, how someone so quiet, so unassuming, could end up with everything. And in that wonder, in that confusion, lies your power. They will never know what it feels like to hold the strings while pretending not to care. They will never know the thrill of watching their own actions work to your advantage. They will never understand what it means to be a master of silence. You see, life is not fair. Life is not loud. Life rewards those who wait, those who understand, those who move at the right time. And in understanding that, you hold the key to every outcome. You do not need to fight. You do not need to force. You only need to exist with clarity, to watch with patience, to act with precision. That is how you always know where it ends. That is how you step into victory without anyone realizing it was theirs to give all along. Now, imagine the look on their faces when they finally understand. The ones who doubted, who ignored, who underestimated, they will finally see the truth. But by then, it will not matter. You will have already moved forward. You will have already taken what was always meant to be yours. And in that moment, in the quiet aftermath of your triumph, there is a satisfaction that no applause could ever match. It is the quiet acknowledgement of your own power, your own intelligence, your own mastery of life. It is the understanding that victory does not require noise, only strategy. That patience is a weapon, and silence is strength. And so, whenever you doubt yourself, whenever the world tries to pull you into its chaos, remember this: you do not need to scream to be heard. You do not need to fight to win. You do not need to compete to conquer. The quiet ones always prevail. The patient ones always triumph. The unseen ones always leave a mark. They may not know it now. They may not understand it now, but they will eventually see, and when they do, it will be too late. You played silent, and they handed you victory. Look around you. Look at the world rushing past, screaming for attention, desperate for acknowledgement, hungry for applause. every person who tries to force their way forward, every person who believes that shouting, pushing, and proving themselves is the key to success. They are walking into a trap of their own making. They fail to see the truth. The real power does not announce itself. It does not fight for recognition. It does not bend to the chaos that surrounds it. It waits, it watches, it grows. And when the moment comes, it strikes without warning, claiming what it was always meant to claim. Imagine yourself in that moment, the moment when everyone around you is exhausted, frustrated, defeated by their own impatience, and you, calm, collected, and unwavering, step forward. The world does not know it yet, but victory has been yours all along. Every choice you made, every second you waited, every act of restraint, it all leads to this instant. They handed it to you without realizing it. They built the stage for your success with their own noise, their own haste, their own misjudgments. And in that quiet, powerful space, you finally see it. All this time, the path was yours. You only needed to hold still. You only needed to play silent. Think about the strength it takes to be invisible while the world moves around you in chaos. To watch while others stumble. To wait while others rush. To remain calm when everyone else is screaming for attention. That strength is not obvious. It does not appear on the surface, but it is there. In your silence, in your patience, in the way you hold yourself while the world underestimates you. And it is the kind of strength that never fades. It does not rely on temporary approval, on fleeting applause, on validation from those who do not understand. It relies on you, on your awareness, on your ability to know, even when no one else does, how this story will end. Now, consider this. How often have you rushed? How often have you felt the pressure to act, to prove, to fight? And yet, every time you held back, every time you waited, every time you allowed others to show their true nature, you were preparing. You were building. You were creating the circumstances in which victory would arrive without struggle. And that is the brilliance of playing silent. While the world is trapped in noise, you are free. Free to see the patterns, free to act with precision, free to claim what they cannot even imagine. They will never understand it. They will never understand the calm confidence of someone who knows exactly where the end is. They will never comprehend the satisfaction of seeing the chaos around you collapse while you remain untouched, unshaken, unstoppable. And yet, that is where your power lies, in the invisibility of your strategy, in the quiet inevitability of your success. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to argue with them. You do not need to shout or prove anything. They give you victory willingly, unknowingly, beautifully. And when you take it, it is more than a win. It is a testament to your mastery of patience, perception, and timing. Imagine a world where everyone learned this lesson too late, where every opponent, every skeptic, every voice of doubt had already played their part in your ascent. You watch, almost with amusement, as they realize that their own actions, rushed, reckless, desperate, only paved the way for your triumph. And you smile quietly because you knew all along. You always knew where it ends. You always knew that those who rush fall behind, that those who shout are drowned by their own noise, that those who act without understanding their environment are the ones who create the opportunity for the patient, the observant, the silent. Victory is not about who fights the hardest. Victory is not about who speaks the loudest. Victory is not about who struggles the most. Victory is about who waits. Victory is about who observes. Victory is about who understands the game, the players, the rhythm of life itself. And you, by playing silent, by embracing restraint, by trusting your own awareness, have stepped into that power. The world handed it to you without realizing it, and that, my friend, is the most powerful kind of triumph. Ask yourself, how many times have you seen someone else win because they shouted the loudest, because they pushed the hardest, because they demanded recognition? And how often have you felt invisible, overlooked, underestimated? That feeling is not weakness, it is preparation. It is the moment before mastery. It is the calm before the storm that only you control. Every hour spent waiting, every moment spent observing, every second you endured without attention, it all contributes to a final act that no one can dispute. You played silent, and they handed you victory. Now, hold that thought and expand it. Think bigger. Think beyond the small victories of today, the subtle triumphs of yesterday. Think of the life you can build if you always remember this strategy, if you always trust the power of patience, if you always embrace the quiet mastery that others cannot see. The opportunities you will claim, the paths you will walk, the triumphs that will follow you, they are all shaped by your understanding of silence, strategy, and inevitability. They are all yours to take because you understood something that the world still refuses to acknowledge. The loud never last, the reckless never prevail, the impatient never finish. Only the quiet, the patient, the aware, they inherit everything. And in this inheritance lies freedom. The freedom to move as you wish, the freedom to act without fear of judgment, the freedom to claim what others cannot even imagine. They handed it to you without a fight, without challenge, without warning. And in that gift lies the ultimate lesson. Life rewards those who understand the rhythm of events, who wait for the perfect timing, who move when all else has failed. You are that person. You always were. And now, the world will see it, not in words, not in noise, not in struggle, but in the undeniable reality of your success. Have you ever noticed how the world underestimates the quiet ones, the ones who sit back, who listen, who absorb everything before speaking a word, before making a move, before showing a trace of strength? They call it invisibility. They call it weakness. They call it nothing at all. And yet, in that nothing, there is everything. Every glance they miss, every word they overlook, every careless step they underestimate, it all builds the framework for your success. And you, standing in silence, are like a sculptor shaping your masterpiece out of the chaos around you. The world believes it is random, messy, uncontrolled, but you know better. You see the patterns, you feel the timing, you know the end long before anyone else does. Think of all the times you waited while others acted rashly, all the moments when you held your tongue while others shouted, all the times you observed quietly while the world was in motion. That is not passivity, that is preparation, that is strategy, that is patience turning into inevitability. Every person who mocked you, who doubted you, who ignored you, they unknowingly participated in your triumph. Every careless decision they made, every misstep, every rush forward, they paved the road straight to your victory. And the best part, they never even realized it. They handed it to you willingly, unknowingly, perfectly. Now, imagine this. Picture a scenario from your own life, perhaps in school, perhaps among friends, perhaps in your family. Someone doubted you, someone ignored your presence. Someone assumed they were ahead, they were in control, they were the winners. And while they rushed, while they acted impulsively, you stood still. You watched, you understood, you waited. And then, at the exact right moment, everything shifted. The outcome became clear. The path opened before you. They had built it. They had prepared it. They had unknowingly handed you everything. And in that moment, when the realization hits, when the world finally notices, it is too late. You are already beyond it. Ladies and gentlemen, gather close. Let's talk about the arrogance of those who play with fire and then act shocked when they get burned. They took you for granted, you see. They treated your kindness as if it were infinite, as if your love and your patience had no boundaries, no limits, no end. They tested your resilience time and time again, pushing you to the edge, expecting you to fold, but you didn't. You held your ground, and now, look at them. Their delusional minds thought your love could withstand their relentless abuse. They believed your heart would remain intact while they trampled over it, and now they're surprised to see that the ground they walked upon has turned to ashes. They thought they could keep pushing you further, testing your limits until you broke. But here's the truth. They underestimated you. They underestimated your power. They thought your forgiveness was a weakness, but it was a weapon they couldn't comprehend. Because while they used your love as a crutch, they didn't realize it was you who had the strength to stand tall without them. And now, they're faced with the consequences of their actions. The reality is, they built their empire on your suffering, and now that empire is crumbling beneath the weight of their own destruction. And they thought they would get away with it, didn't they? They thought you would stay forever trapped in their cycle of abuse, their manipulation, their lies. And the worst part is, they didn't care. They didn't care about the toll it took on you. They didn't care about the pieces of you they ripped away without a second thought. They didn't care that they were suffocating your soul. And here you are, stronger than ever, because you realized your worth and you refused to let their darkness consume you. You see, it's not that you didn't love them. It's not that you didn't try. It's not that you weren't there when they needed you. It's that they took everything for granted, and they never truly understood the value of what they had until it was too late. They thought they could keep demanding from you. They thought you would keep giving and giving without ever needing anything in return. They never saw the damage they were doing. They never saw the cracks they were creating in your spirit, until one day they looked around and found that the light in you had dimmed, and now they're wondering why. They're wondering how the fire that once burned so brightly has been reduced to smoke. They're wondering where that person went. Who would have done anything for them? Who would have fought for them? Who would have loved them unconditionally? But here's the thing. Their delusion was their downfall. They couldn't see the reality of their actions. They thought they could take from you forever, without consequence. But life isn't kind to those who take without giving. It's not a fair game to play with love, as though it's something you can just take and toss aside when it no longer suits you. But that's exactly what they did. They took your love, they took your trust, and they thought you would always be there to give. They never realized that there comes a moment when enough is enough. They never understood that the human heart is not an endless well, and that there comes a time when you stop giving and you start protecting yourself. And when that time came, you stopped giving. You stopped fighting. You stopped trying because you realized that no matter how hard you fought, they wouldn't change. They wouldn't grow. They wouldn't learn. And they wouldn't appreciate the value of what they had until it was gone. They took your heart for granted, and now they'll never get it back. And the worst part is, they'll never understand why. They'll never understand that their own actions led to their downfall. They'll never see how their own arrogance, their own entitlement, their own delusions of control and power over you created the person they never expected. They never expected you to walk away. They never expected you to break free. They never expected you to have the strength to leave when they thought they had you trapped in their web of lies and manipulation. But you did. You did break free, and now they're left with the consequences of their own mistakes. But here's the most important thing. The most powerful thing you can do now is to stand tall and walk forward with your head held high, because you are no longer the person they thought you were. You are no longer the person who would let them walk all over you. You are no longer the person who would sacrifice their own happiness and well-being for the sake of someone who never truly cared about you. You are the person who knows their worth and understands that love doesn't come with strings attached. Love isn't something to be used and discarded. Love is something to be cherished. It's something to be nurtured, and it's something to be given freely, but only to those who deserve it. And they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve you. They didn't deserve the endless patience, the unrelenting support, the unwavering loyalty. They didn't deserve the depth of your love. But they took it anyway, and now they're left with nothing but the ashes of what they destroyed. And the worst part is, they'll never get it back. They'll never get another chance to make it right. They'll never get another chance to prove that they can change, because they've burned that bridge. They've destroyed that chance with their own hands. But here's the thing. You're not the same person you were before either. You've learned, you've grown, you've become stronger and wiser. You've learned that some people are only in your life for a season, and that their purpose is to teach you something, to show you your own strength, to remind you that you are worthy of love, but that love starts with yourself. And when you finally realize that, when you finally understand your own value, you'll stop settling for the scraps that others throw your way. You'll stop letting people treat you as if you're expendable, because you are not. You are not expendable. You are not replaceable. You are not some object that can be used and discarded when someone no longer needs you. You are a person, a human being, with emotions and dreams and goals, and a heart that deserves to be treated with respect and love. And anyone who cannot see that does not deserve to have a place in your life. But here's the beauty of it all. Even after everything you've been through, you're still standing. You're still here. You've survived the darkness. You've survived the manipulation, the lies, the abuse, and you've come out stronger on the other side. And that's what they'll never understand. They'll never understand how you survived. They'll never understand the depth of your strength, the power of your resilience, and the force of your will. They'll never understand that their own actions brought them to this point. And you've taken back your power. You've walked away from their darkness, and you've embraced the light that is within you. You are not a victim of their cruelty. You are the victor of your own life, and that is something they will never take from you again. And now, as you stand tall and reclaim the pieces of yourself that they tried to shatter, something powerful happens. You realize that you were never as broken as they hoped you would be. They thought you'd fall apart, that the weight of their abuse would crumble you, but instead, it forged you. It made you stronger than you ever thought possible. You were tested in ways most could never even imagine, and you survived. Not only did you survive, but you thrived. You found a way to rise above the darkness they tried to pull you into, and now you're a force to be reckoned with. They thought your heart would always be a soft, forgiving place for them, a place they could run back to whenever they needed comfort, without ever earning it. They thought you would forever be their emotional punching bag, that they could mistreat you without consequence, and you'd always take them back. But here's the thing. They forgot one crucial detail. Even the strongest hearts have limits. Even the most patient souls have a breaking point. And you reached that point. You found that line in the sand. And once you stepped over it, there was no turning back. They never understood that love isn't meant to be a tool for exploitation. Love is meant to be a bond, a mutual exchange, something that nurtures and uplifts both people involved. And if they couldn't see that, if they couldn't honor that, then it was their own loss. The harsh reality is that people who manipulate and mistreat others rarely change on their own. Their behavior is rooted in a deep-seated arrogance, an unshakable belief that they are entitled to everything, including your love and your devotion. But let me make this clear. They are not entitled to you. They never were. You gave because you wanted to, not because they deserved it. You loved because it was in your nature to love deeply and fiercely. But their inability to value that love is what ultimately drove them to destroy it. They didn't have the maturity to understand that love isn't something you can take for granted or abuse without consequences. And now, as you stand free from their grip, you realize that their absence isn't a void, it's a liberation. And here's the truth they'll never admit. They don't know how to love. They've never truly known what it means to cherish another person, to be selfless, to put in the effort required for a healthy, meaningful relationship. They only know how to take. They only know how to manipulate, control, and tear down. They thought your love was something to exploit for their own benefit, but in the end, it was their downfall. And as they sit in the wreckage of their own making, they're starting to realize the truth. They've lost something invaluable, something they can never get back. They took your love for granted, and now they'll never have it again. They didn't just lose you, they lost the part of themselves that they would never have without you. They destroyed the one thing that could have helped them grow, helped them become better, helped them heal. And they did it all out of pride, out of arrogance, out of the delusion that you would always be there, always forgiving, always understanding. But you're done with that. You're done giving yourself to someone who doesn't appreciate you. You're done allowing someone to drain you of everything you have to give. The truth is, they couldn't see the treasure they had until it was too late. And now, they are left with nothing but the cold, empty reality of their own actions. They thought they were in control, that they could dictate the terms of the relationship. But in the end, it was you who held the real power. It was you who chose when enough was enough. It was you who decided that your love would no longer be a tool to be used, but a force to be respected. And now, they must live with the consequences of their ignorance, their selfishness, their refusal to see what they had before it was gone. And that is your victory. But let me ask you something. As you look back on what happened, what do you see? Do you see the mistakes you made? The times you gave more than you should have? The times you forgave when you shouldn't have? Yes, you were too kind, too patient, too willing to love, even when it wasn't returned. Yes, you gave too many chances to someone who didn't deserve them. But guess what? That's not your fault. That's a reflection of your heart, of your capacity to love, of your unwillingness to turn your back on someone, even when they've hurt you. And while it's true that sometimes you have to learn to let go, to walk away, to protect yourself from further harm, don't ever let anyone convince you that your kindness was a weakness. Your kindness was your strength. It was a gift, not just to them, but to yourself. You gave because you wanted to, and you should never regret that. But here's the lesson. Don't let that kindness turn into self-doubt. Don't let it cause you to question your worth. The mistakes you made were not a reflection of your value. They were simply part of your journey. They were part of the process that led you to this moment. The moment when you realized you don't need anyone who doesn't appreciate you. You don't need anyone who doesn't see your worth. You don't need anyone who can't meet you halfway. And now that you know that, now that you understand your own strength and resilience, Nothing can hold you back. You are free, you are powerful, you are enough, just as you are. And what about them? What about the ones who mistreated you? The ones who took your love for granted, who played with your heart like it was a toy? Well, they will live with the consequences of their actions, whether they ever admit it or not. They will carry the weight of their choices with them for the rest of their lives. They may try to convince themselves that it wasn't their fault, that they were justified in their behavior, that you were somehow to blame. But deep down, they know the truth. They know they lost something precious. They know they took your love for granted, and that knowledge will haunt them. They'll have to live with the fact that they let someone who loved them unconditionally slip away, that they destroyed something beautiful through their own arrogance and selfishness. But that's not your problem anymore. And so, as you move forward, don't look back. Don't let the past define you. Don't let the scars they left on you become a part of your identity. You are not the pain you've endured. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are not the wounds they inflicted upon you. You are the person who survived it. You are the person who stood up, who fought back, who broke free. You are the person who refused to let their abuse define your future. And that is something to be proud of. As you walk away from them, remember that your journey is yours alone. It's not about them anymore. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your power, your peace, your sense of self. It's about remembering who you are and what you deserve. You deserve love. You deserve respect. You deserve happiness. And anyone who cannot give you that is not someone you need in your life. So, keep moving forward. Keep walking toward your future, toward the life you deserve, and leave behind the ones who never valued you. They will never understand the depths of your strength, the power you found in yourself when you had nothing left to give. But you know, don't you? You know that you are capable of greatness. You know that you are worthy of everything you've ever dreamed of. And now you're going to get it. You're going to find the love you deserve. You're going to find the respect, the joy, the peace that was always meant for you. And when they look back at you, when they realize what they've lost, remember this: you were never meant to be their stepping stone. You were meant to soar. And now, nothing can stop you. In the end, they will understand that your love wasn't something they could abuse without consequences. It was a gift, and now it's gone. But you're just getting started, and the world won't know what hit it when you unleash the full power of who you are. You've been through the worst of it. You've endured pain that was unimaginable, suffering that no one should ever have to experience. You gave everything you had to someone who only took, who only used you for their own selfish needs. And when you finally reached the end of your rope, when you finally decided to stop sacrificing your happiness for them, they were stunned. They thought you were too weak to leave. They thought they could continue to control you, to keep you trapped in their world of deceit, their world of abuse. But what they failed to realize was that the strength they thought you lacked had been growing inside you all along. They mistook your kindness for weakness, but what they didn't see was the quiet power that burned beneath the surface of your soul. It wasn't just kindness that kept you holding on. It was love. It was love so deep and unyielding that you kept giving even when it hurt. It was love that made you believe in the best of them, even when their actions told a different story. You believed in them, even when they couldn't believe in themselves. You fought for them, even when they refused to fight for you. You put their needs before yours, even when you were left with nothing. You sacrificed everything for them, and what did you get in return? Nothing but heartache, betrayal, and abuse. But here's the cruel truth they will never understand. Your love was never meant to be used up and thrown away. Your love was a gift that they took for granted, a gift that they didn't recognize the value of until it was gone. And now that you're gone, they're left with nothing but regret and the harsh reality that their own actions have stripped them of the one thing they never truly deserved. They thought they had you, that they could keep you in their life forever, but the truth is, they were never deserving of the love you gave them. They never had the capacity to appreciate it, as they sit in the wreckage of their own making, trying to convince themselves that they're the victims. They'll never be able to truly understand the depths of their mistakes. They'll never be able to see the full scope of the damage they'll inflicted upon you. They'll never know how much you sacrificed, how much you gave, and how much it cost you to try and make things work with someone who wasn't capable of seeing your worth. The truth is, they were never capable of truly loving you because they didn't even know how to love themselves. And now, they'll be haunted by that truth for the rest of their lives. And as for you, as you stand here today, free from the chains they tried to wrap around your heart and soul, you're no longer the person you once were. You are not the same person who allowed them to walk all over you, to mistreat you, to use you and abuse you without consequence. You are not the same person who stayed silent while they tore you down, while they ignored your needs and took everything from you. You are not the same person who believed their lies, who gave them second chances, who kept hoping things would change. That person is gone. That person has been replaced by someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who knows their worth. You have learned the hard way that love is not something to be taken lightly. Love is not something to be used as a weapon. Love is not something that can be exploited without consequence. You have learned that love should be mutual, that it should be nurturing, that it should uplift both people involved. And when it's not, when it's one-sided, when it's toxic, when it becomes a tool for manipulation and control, then it's time to walk away. You have learned that walking away from someone who doesn't value you is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign that you value yourself enough to say no more. And now, as you walk forward, you carry with you the scars of the past, but you also carry with you the wisdom that those scars have given you. You carry with you the knowledge that you will never again allow someone to take you for granted. You will never again allow someone to tear you down, to make you feel small, to make you feel worthless. You know now that you are worthy of respect. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of all the happiness and joy that this world has to offer, and you will no longer settle for less than that. They tried to break you. They tried to take everything from you. They tried to strip you of your dignity, your self-worth, your spirit. But they failed, because in the end, it wasn't them who had the power. It was you. You held the power all along, even when you didn't realize it. They couldn't break you, because they didn't have the strength to do so. They didn't have the strength to break someone as resilient, as fierce, as powerful as you. And now that you know that, now that you understand the depth of your own strength, nothing can stop you. You are unstoppable. They may try to come back. They may try to beg for forgiveness. They may try to manipulate you once again with their empty promises, their false words. But you know better now. You know that they will never change. You know that they will never treat you the way you deserve to be treated, and you will not fall for it. You will not fall for their lies, their games, their manipulation. You will not give them another chance to destroy you. And even if they never understand what they lost, even if they never acknowledge the pain they caused you, it doesn't matter. You know your worth. You know that you are deserving of so much more than they could ever offer. And now, you are free. Free to live the life you were meant to live. Free to love the way you deserve to be loved. Free to find happiness and peace and joy without the shadow of their abuse hanging over you. The truth is, this journey has changed you. It has shaped you into someone stronger, someone more aware of who you are and what you want from life. You have learned how to trust yourself again, how to rely on your own strength and resilience. You have learned that you are enough, just as you are. You have learned that you do not need anyone's approval, anyone's validation, anyone's love in order to be complete. You are whole on your own. You are complete on your own. And anyone who wants to be in your life must see that, must respect that, must value that. As you continue on your journey, remember this: the person you were before, the person who gave everything to someone who didn't deserve it, that person was not weak. That person was not foolish. That person was simply someone who believed in the goodness of others, someone who loved deeply, someone who cared. And that is something to be proud of. You loved with all your heart. And while they may have taken that love for granted, you now know that your love is a gift that you will no longer give to anyone who doesn't deserve it. So, let go of the past. Let go of the pain, the guilt, the shame. Let go of the people who hurt you, the people who abused you, the people who didn't care enough to see your worth. Let go of them because they are not worth your time, your energy, your love. And walk forward into the future with confidence, with strength, with the knowledge that you are enough, that you are worthy of everything you've ever dreamed of, and that you will never again settle for less than you deserve. The road ahead may not always be easy, but it will be yours. It will be your journey, and you will walk it with your head held high, knowing that you are stronger than anything that comes your way. You have survived the worst, and now you're going to thrive. You're going to rise up, stronger than ever, and nothing will stand in your way. Not the pain of the past, not the people who tried to tear you down, not the darkness that once surrounded you. You are light. You are power. You are everything you need to be. And when they look at you, those who once mistreated you, those who once took everything from you, they will see something they never saw before. They will see your strength, they will see your power, and they will realize that the love they lost was never meant for them. It was meant for someone who would cherish it, someone who would protect it, someone who would respect it, and that someone is you. And as for them, they will have to live with the consequences of their actions. They will have to carry the weight of their mistakes, the weight of their regrets. They will have to live with the knowledge that they lost someone who could have loved them unconditionally, who could have been their partner, their equal. And in the end, they will realize that the love you gave them was the greatest thing they ever had, and they threw it away. But that's not your burden to carry anymore. You have moved on. You have found your strength, and now you are free. So, step forward into your future. The world is waiting for you. It's waiting for the person you have become, the person who is no longer afraid to stand up for themselves, the person who knows their worth. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever make you doubt that again. You are enough. You always were.